Rune Factory 5 has finally been released after a couple of delays. Some fans are really torn on the new graphic style and have reported some major performance issues. So, was it worth the wait? Is it worth buying? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mabimpressions. Today I want to talk about Rune Factory 5. This is a farming simulator slice of life game with lots of RPG elements and a big focus on growth and relationships. As usual, the video will be broken down in 3 sections. First, the general overview. Second, my opinions. Did I like it or not? What are the pros and cons? And finally, third, an uncut section of gameplay so you can see it in action. Let's get started. Rune Factory 5 was developed by Hakami Inc. and published by Xseed Games and Marvelous Inc. This is not a review copy. I have the physical Switch right behind me right there. It was released on March 22nd, 2022 and is going for $59.99 US. It's currently only available on the Nintendo Switch. The footage you're seeing here today was taken straight from my Rune Factory 5 playthrough. If you're interested, there's links in the description to my Let's Play channel and Twitch where we live stream it all. Thanks to anyone who decides to check those out. You take control of a male or female avatar who finds themselves lost in a forest, caught up in some trouble, and you end up saving a young girl. After bringing her safely to the village, it's explained that you have amnesia and are completely oblivious to the world around you. The town inhabitants are grateful for your good deed and welcome you with open arms to stay until your memory returns. You volunteered to become part of the seed program, in which members are sworn to help protect and grow the village. From then on, your daily life consists of farming, defending the village, and creating meaningful relationships with those around you. Rune Factory 5 has a lot of gameplay elements to it. It'll take forever to go through every single one in detail, so instead here are the main ones you can expect to be doing throughout your playthrough. Just remember, each of these features and mechanics I'm about to talk about have a lot more advanced features and are meant to harmonize with each other to create your character's playstyle. Let's start with farming. You are given plots of land that could be used to farm various types of crops and plants. Simply till a field and provide gifts to friends and loved ones. You can make money and also cook food with it. Then there's combat. Defeat enemies with many weapons, skills, spells, and allies. It's real-time fighting with dodging and managing resources like HP and rune points, which are basically your stamina. It's used up when doing farm work, processing materials, and is currency for some skills. The village and NPCs are a huge part of the game. The town starts off pretty populated and gets more inhabitants the further you go into the story. They all have a schedule, a job, likes and dislikes. You can befriend everyone to get various benefits, and there are a certain set of villagers in which you can actually fall in love with, marry, and have them be a part of your playthrough. The village has shops to buy equipment like weapons, armors, medicines, skills, and foods. They can be expanded as well as your own base to include bigger inventory and a ton of workshop and decorations. Along with the main storyline you can follow, there's a lot of side quests you can accept which provide good instructions on the game's features and some monster hunts which are very fun challenges. Everything you do in the game, whether it be farming, fishing, fighting, crafting, cooking, walking, sleeping, and even just talking to NPCs, they all provide skills and stats to your character. You gain traditional experience from defeating monsters and can alter your stats with worn equipment. However, your main build comes from the actions you decide to do. The more you use fire spells, the cheaper it becomes to cast those. Get hit more and your defense and vitality goes up. Ship more crops and your bartering skill goes up, in turn also making your intelligence goes up. It's all just constant progression with this game. Let's move on to the presentation. The last Rune Factory, which was 4, was originally released on the 3DS and then ported into a remaster for the Switch, which I also covered and reviewed. That style then was an over-the-top camera view with very small textured and grainy environments and models. Rune Factory 5 has evolved into more 3D-esque, kinda think of My Time at Portia and Breath of the Wild type of feel. The music was nothing too noteworthy in my opinion, besides the opening anime movie scene, which was kinda decent. Nothing much stood out. There are voiceovers in this game, but we'll get to what was really weird about that in a second. Okay, so let's talk about the pros and cons, the good and bad. What did I like and what did I dislike? Okay, first of all, Don't go into this game thinking it's going to have a completely revamped gameplay loop with amazing overhauled graphics. At the end of the day, it's your traditional Rune Factory motions with some decent quality of life features and some interesting gameplay additions that are worth trying out. For example, most items when harvesting or dropped from enemies automatically get picked up instead of you having to manually bend over, click a button, stash it in your inventory. You could warp to a lot of areas you visited before. You can see every item's buy and sell feature just by looking at it or their worth. The graphics though are definitely going to be a red flag, or at least the majority of people will be very iffy on it. The character 3D models are decent. The still animated portraits are gorgeous, and some of the interiors are detailed enough. The environments and textures outside though, they look very meh. It's kind of like Genshin Impact, but lowered to look like Pokemon Legends Arceus. A positive note here though, it all kind of grew on me after a couple of hours. What's really unforgivable though is the performance during a lot of the areas in the game. Frame drops are very noticeable during combats and exploration during some of the sections of the map, from the village to the ruins in the field. The Nintendo Switch is the only console it was released on. It's a shame that they couldn't get it stable after all the delays. It hurts the overall experience, but it's not a showstopper whatsoever. I did enjoy that there was some good amount of voice acting, but what's weird is that it seems like only some of the lines were voiced instead of all of them during regular and story segments. For example, a character would introduce themselves and be voiced, then voice some more important dialogue, and then lines of nothing but text for a bit but still relevant exposition, and then suddenly more voice lines, and it kept going vice versa. Overall, it seems to happen randomly. It didn't matter if the line was really important or a throwaway one. It needed to be consistent or just not in there at all. In my experience, it felt like a bug or something, but it was probably intended that way. There's a easy, normal, and hard mode that can be switched out at any time. Unfortunately, I don't know the differences. Could simply just be increased enemy stat values. If you choose male or female, you can still go after any of the love interests and have a traditional marriage or the same-sex one. So that's cool. There are in-game trophies for completionists, and if you have Rune Factory 4 Special save data on your Switch, you get Margaret and Doug to shop in your village. They're from the previous game. They will give you quests and can be befriended as well. It's a nice touch. So, overall, Rune Factory is exactly how I expected it to be. It's a tiny step up from the previous game. I got used to the new graphics, but unfortunately the game felt very unoptimized at times with lots of frame drops during exploration and combat. It's not the best game in the world, but it sure does have a lot of ambition in terms of activities you can do at a moment's notice. And that's what I really love about the series. It's constant progression with character stats and leveling. You're always getting new items, equipment, and enhancements. I'd recommend it to those who really spend a lot of time playing games like this before. Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley, and honestly, if you've played any of the other Rune Factories before and, you know, have maybe gotten a good dozen or so hours or maybe even gotten to the end, you're going to get your money's worth here for sure. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, it helps a lot. If you haven't already, subscribe for daily videos. Check out the full playthrough on my Let's Play channel and follow me on Twitch and join the Discord. All links are in the description. I'll be leaving you with some gameplay of me fighting some monsters and trying out the first boss. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. A monster! It's huge. It's a danger to anyone who wanders in the forest. Wait, am I gonna die? Am I able to fight it now? Oh crap. Suck magic! I do a lot of damage actually. Ah! Yeah, it's like I said, it's not the most deep gameplay, but it's good enough for like an RP sim game, you know? Just the fact that you can cancel into a dash makes things better. And later on, you can actually get monsters to fight with you and other NPCs that you befriend. So you can become like a good leader in that sense. So yeah, this isn't. Phase 2! Why is one blue? Oh, it's a little slower.
Take that.
Shut up. Alright, no problem. Didn't even touch me. I'm turning up the difficulty. Oh my god. Okay, well, here's your anime portion, JRPG stuff.